Hollywood is full of secrets, but few are as surprising as this one. After years of silence, he finally admitted to a wild secret with Cary and Randolph Scott, changing everything we thought we knew about these legends. Hollywood's golden age was a time of glitz, glamour, and carefully crafted public images. Stars were polished to perfection, their lives seemingly perfect and scandal-free, at least on the surface. But behind the velvet curtains and bright lights, secrets simmered. Among the most intriguing of these secrets involves two of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, Cary and Randolph Scott. Together, they formed a legendary duo, not only on screen but off-screen as well, sparking whispers and endless speculation. What most people don't know is that these two actors shared more than just the spotlight. They lived together for years. Their cohabitation was known to Hollywood insiders, but rarely discussed openly. This arrangement fueled countless rumors about the true nature of their relationship, but the truth remained elusive. Hollywood, after all, was a place where appearances mattered above all else. The studios controlled every aspect of their stars' lives, often fabricating romances or marriages to shield them from public scrutiny. Enter Scotty Bowers, a man whose life story reads like something out of a movie itself. A former Marine who later found his way into the heart of Hollywood's hidden world, Bowers became a discreet facilitator for some of the town's most private encounters. Operating from an unassuming gas station, he arranged meetings and kept the secrets that many stars hoped would never see the light of day. His memoir, Full Service, and the documentary Scotty and the Secret History of Hollywood pull back the curtain on an era where discretion was currency, and the line between public persona and private reality blurred. Bowers' accounts challenged the polished images of stars like Grant and Scott, offering a glimpse into a world few dared to acknowledge. He claimed to have shared an intimate experience with both men, a revelation that rewrites the understanding of their personal lives. This wasn't just about rumors or innuendo. Bowers' stories reveal complex relationships that defied the norms of the time. But why did this remain so hidden? The answer lies in the culture of Hollywood itself. Studios demanded a pristine image for their stars, encouraging marriages and public relationships that often concealed true feelings and connections. Anything that threatened to upset the delicate balance of fame was suppressed. Grant and Scott's public cohabitation was already unusual, but their deeper bond was kept under wraps, known only to a select few. The story of these two men is not just about celebrity gossip. It's a window into the sacrifices and compromises forced upon actors by an unforgiving industry. And it's only now, decades later, that some of these hidden truths are coming to light, thanks largely to the bravery of people like Scotty Bowers who dared to tell their stories. But that wasn't the whole story. The next chapter dives even deeper into Bowers' life, revealing how a former Marine became Hollywood's most trusted confidant and what it took to keep so many secrets behind closed doors. Scotty Bowers wasn't born into Hollywood royalty, nor did he start his career on the silver screen. His journey began in a very different world. He was a Marine, serving his country during World War II. But after the war, life had other plans for him, leading him to a rather unexpected role at the heart of Tinseltown's secret history. Bowers operated from a small gas station in Hollywood, a seemingly ordinary place that masked its true purpose. Behind the counter, he became more than just a mechanic or attendant. He was the discreet connection for countless stars seeking privacy and companionship away from prying eyes. His unique position allowed him to arrange meetings and introductions for some of the most famous figures of the era, keeping their personal lives under wraps. This role required absolute trust. In an age when careers could be destroyed by mere whispers, Bowers' discretion was invaluable. He became a gatekeeper to Hollywood's hidden world, managing affairs that no studio publicist would ever acknowledge. His ability to navigate the fine line between secrecy and openness made him a vital, though invisible, player in the lives of stars. The memoir Full Service reveals that Bowers wasn't just a facilitator, but also a confidant. Many stars confided in him, sharing stories, frustrations, and the pressures they faced living double lives. His experiences highlight the enormous tension between public expectation and private reality, especially in a town where image was everything. What makes Bowers' story so compelling is how he managed to stay under the radar for decades, only coming forward late in life to share what he knew. His accounts challenged the sanitized version of Hollywood's past, revealing a more complex, human side to the icons we think we know. Bowers' role went far beyond arranging meetings. He was part of a hidden network that helped stars navigate the challenges of fame in a time when certain personal truths could end careers overnight. His life offers a rare glimpse behind the velvet rope, showing how Hollywood's glamorous facade often concealed stories of longing, secrecy, and survival. But the story takes an even more surprising turn when we hear about his connection to Cary Grant and Randolph Scott. What exactly was his involvement with these two Hollywood legends? And how did his presence shape the secret history they kept hidden for so long? What happened next would shock many, reshaping how we view not only these stars but the entire Hollywood system that shaped their lives. Among the countless stories Scotty Bowers shared, one stands out for its sheer boldness and the insight it offers into Hollywood's hidden world. Bowers claimed a deeply personal connection with two of the era's most iconic actors, Cary Grant and Randolph Scott. Their friendship was well known in Hollywood, but Bowers revealed layers of their relationship that had never been publicly acknowledged. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott were Hollywood's golden duo, often seen together and even sharing a home for years. While their public images portrayed them as close friends and colleagues, Bowers suggested their bond was far more intimate than anyone imagined at the time. His claim that he had a private experience involving both men shocked those who thought they knew the stars well. This revelation didn't just stir gossip. It challenged the rigid norms of the 1940s and 50s Hollywood. Public figures were expected to maintain flawless images, and anything that deviated from the norm risked scandal and career ruin. Studios often arranged marriages or other cover-ups to protect their stars, but the truth was more complicated behind the scenes. Bowers described his connection with Grant and Scott as part of the secret lives they led, lives that defied the public's assumptions. It painted a picture of Hollywood not as a place of pure glamour and simplicity, but as a maze of hidden truths and complex personal dynamics. This account adds a new layer to the legacy of both actors. Cary Grant was admired for his charm and elegance, while Randolph Scott was known for his rugged masculinity in Western roles. But their private story, as shared by Bowers, reveals vulnerability and a yearning for connection beyond what the public ever saw. It's important to remember that these revelations come decades after the peak of their careers, at a time when such stories could no longer destroy reputations. Bowers' courage to speak out has opened the door for a more honest discussion about identity and privacy in Hollywood's golden age. What's even more fascinating is how these hidden relationships reflect the pressures actors faced. Pressures to conform to expectations that often conflicted with their true selves. It wasn't just Grant and Scott. Many stars navigated similar challenges in silence. But Bowers' role in this secret world wasn't limited to these two. He was a connector, confidant, and witness to countless stories that Hollywood's glossy surface never revealed. His experiences give us a rare glimpse into a side of the industry that was carefully shielded from public view. Next, we'll dive into the public personas of Grant and Scott, exploring how their carefully crafted images contrasted sharply with the private realities Bowers uncovered. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott were icons of their time, admired for their polished images and undeniable screen presence. On the surface, they embody the ideal Hollywood star, charming, confident, and effortlessly perfect. But beneath this glossy exterior lay a far more complicated truth, one shaped by the relentless demands of the studio system and the unforgiving social norms of the era. Grant, with his suave demeanor and debonair style, was the epitome of sophistication. Scott, on the other hand, was the rugged Western hero, the strong, silent type who resonated with audiences craving adventure and masculinity. Both were beloved by millions, but their public images were carefully managed and often contradicted the reality of their personal lives. During Hollywood's golden age, studios held immense power over stars. They controlled not only the roles actors played, but also their public behavior, appearances, and personal relationships. Any hint of scandal, especially around subjects considered taboo, could result in devastating career consequences. Marriages were often arranged or exaggerated. Friendships were framed to obscure deeper connections, and secrecy was the price of survival. This is where Scotty Bowers' revelations shake the foundation of what we thought we knew. His accounts suggest that behind the scenes, Grant and Scott's relationship went beyond simple friendship. Their cohabitation was public knowledge, but the nature of their bond was carefully hidden, shielded from the prying eyes of fans and the press. Bowers' stories reveal the extraordinary lengths to which these stars and others went to protect their true selves while maintaining the facades the studios demanded. It wasn't just about image, it was about safety, privacy, and the freedom to be who they really were in a time when that freedom was nearly impossible. The contrast between public personas and private realities wasn't unique to Grant and Scott. Many stars lived double lives, carefully balancing the expectations placed upon them with the truths they kept hidden. It was a delicate dance, one that could easily unravel if the wrong secret slipped out. Understanding this tension gives us a more nuanced view of Hollywood's golden age. It wasn't just glitz and glamour. It was a place where personal sacrifices were made to maintain careers, reputations, and sometimes even lives. And yet, despite the risks and challenges, there were moments of genuine connection and humanity beneath the surface. Bauer's stories help us glimpse those moments, reminding us that these stars were real people grappling with complex identities long before society was ready to accept them. But this hidden world wasn't just about secrecy. It was also about resilience and the power of discreet support networks. In the next section, we'll explore how Bowers became a key figure in Hollywood's secret history, helping stars navigate the complexities of their private lives. Behind the glamour and lights of Hollywood's golden age, there existed a shadowy network that few outsiders ever glimpsed. Scotty Bowers was at the center of this hidden world, a man who became indispensable to many stars navigating the strict social codes and studio expectations of the time. Bowers wasn't born into Hollywood royalty. Instead, he came from humble beginnings and served as a Marine during World War II. After the war, he found himself in Los Angeles, running a gas station that quickly transformed into much more than a simple pit stop. It became the discreet meeting place where actors, directors, and other industry insiders could connect away from the public eye. What made Bowers so unique was not just his location, but his ability to offer something the stars desperately needed: privacy and discretion. He had a knack for arranging encounters that protected the reputations of his clients, helping them explore aspects of their lives that couldn't be publicly acknowledged. His memoir and the documentary about his life reveal a man who was more than just a facilitator. He was a confidant, a protector, and a bridge between the public facade and private realities of Hollywood's elite. Bowers claims that he arranged hundreds of such discreet meetings over the years, navigating a complex web of desires, secrets, and social pressures. Among his most talked-about stories is the intimate encounter involving Cary Grant and Randolph Scott. According to Bowers, their relationship was far more than what fans or the studios ever imagined. This revelation challenges the conventional narratives and invites us to reconsider what we thought we knew about these Hollywood legends. Bowers' role also highlights the profound loneliness and isolation many stars experienced. Despite their fame, many felt trapped in their own lives, unable to be themselves openly. Bowers offered them a rare kind of freedom, a safe space to be authentic without fear of judgment or career repercussions. Yet, his work was not without controversy. Critics argue about the ethics and accuracy of some claims, but the impact of Bowers' stories on how we view Hollywood's past is undeniable. His accounts open a window into the complexities of fame, identity, and the costs of maintaining appearances. This secret world that Bowers reveals is a stark reminder that beneath the glitter, Hollywood was, and often still is, a place of hidden struggles and untold stories. But Bowers' story is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Up next, we dive into the specifics of the encounter that has shocked many, involving Cary Grant, Randolph Scott, and Scotty Bowers himself. The story that shocked many Hollywood historians and fans alike revolves around one unforgettable night involving Cary Grant, Randolph Scott, and Scotty Bowers. According to Bowers, what happened that evening wasn't just a fleeting moment but something that symbolized the hidden realities behind the silver screen. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott were two of Hollywood's most respected and beloved actors. Known for their charm, rugged looks, and impeccable talent, they maintained carefully crafted public images. Yet, beneath the surface, the truth was far more complex. Bowers recalls that the three of them shared an experience that went beyond friendship and professional camaraderie. This encounter, described with surprising openness by Bowers, hints at a closeness that defied the norms and expectations of their time. It was a secret kept behind closed doors, away from the prying eyes of the public and studio executives. What makes this revelation particularly fascinating is how it reshapes our understanding of these stars. It challenges the sanitized stories we're often told and shows the human side of people who lived under enormous pressure to conform to Hollywood standards. The encounter itself was discreet, intense, and carefully managed. Bowers describes the dynamics between the three, emphasizing the trust and confidentiality involved. It wasn't just about the experience, but the safety and respect that made it possible. This story also sheds light on the loneliness many stars faced. Despite their fame, their personal lives were often constrained by rigid societal rules. The chance to share authentic moments like these, away from judgment, was a rare form of liberation. Yet, the details are intentionally vague. Bowers is mindful of the need to respect privacy and keep the narrative suitable for a wide audience. His accounts focus more on the atmosphere and emotional undercurrents than explicit specifics. The ripple effect of this revelation was immediate. It sparked conversations about the realities of Hollywood's golden era and opened doors to further discussions about identity, secrecy, and the cost of stardom. But this was not an isolated incident. The story involving Grant, Scott, and Bowers is just one chapter in a larger tale of hidden relationships, complex loyalties, and the constant balancing act stars had to perform. Up next, we'll explore how Hollywood's public facades often masked much more complicated private lives, and how these secrets shaped the careers and legacies of its biggest stars. Hollywood's golden age was all about glamour, perfection, and the illusion of the perfect life. Studios controlled every detail, from an actor's hairstyle to their public relationships. Behind this polished surface, however, lay a world of secrets carefully guarded by the stars and the studios alike. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott were no exceptions. While the public saw two confident, charming leading men, the truth was more complicated. Rumors swirled about their personal lives, but clear answers were scarce. Their cohabitation raised eyebrows, yet nobody dared speak openly about what really connected them. In that era, the studio system exerted immense pressure to maintain specific images. Marriages, public dates, and even fabricated romances were often part of the act to shield stars from scrutiny and preserve their marketability. This constant performance took a toll. For many stars, genuine connection was hard to find amid the spotlight's glare. Scotty Bowers stepped into the secretive world as a confidant, a discreet facilitator who helped stars explore parts of themselves that had to remain hidden publicly. Bowers' stories highlight how fragile these public facades were. His accounts reveal the immense lengths to which stars went to protect their privacy, crafting double lives that few outsiders ever glimpsed. This balancing act wasn't just about personal freedom, it was about survival. Hollywood was ruthless, and any hint of scandal could end a career overnight. The stakes were high, and trust was rare. The secret life of Grant and Scott, as described by Bowers, symbolizes this larger dynamic. Their bond wasn't just friendship. It was a quiet rebellion against the roles imposed on them by Hollywood's rigid expectations. Understanding these hidden realities helps us appreciate the emotional complexity behind the smiles and perfectly scripted interviews. It reminds us that fame often came with loneliness and sacrifice. What Bowers revealed challenges the black and white narratives of the past. It forces us to look deeper, beyond the star-studded headlines, and consider the personal struggles and quiet courage of those who lived under constant public gaze. But the story doesn't end here. We will dive into how Bowers' role in this hidden world extended beyond just a few stars, painting a broader picture of Hollywood's secret history. Scotty Bowers wasn't just a witness to Hollywood's hidden lives. He was a central figure who quietly shaped many untold stories. Known as a discreet facilitator, Bowers operated out of a modest gas station in Hollywood, a seemingly ordinary place that became a gateway to the private worlds of some of the era's biggest stars. After serving as a Marine, Bowers found himself navigating a unique niche in Hollywood's underground social scene. He connected actors, actresses, and other influential figures, helping them explore their desires away from prying eyes and the strict scrutiny of the studio system. His role was more than just matchmaking. It was about trust. Celebrities who couldn't be themselves in public found in Bowers a safe harbor. His discretion and understanding earned him the respect and confidence of many stars who needed someone to keep their secrets. The memoir he wrote, along with a documentary based on his life, peel back the layers of Hollywood's glittering surface. Through his stories, we see how this network of secrecy wasn't just about scandal. It was about survival in an industry that demanded perfection. Bowers' accounts reveal a side of Hollywood rarely discussed, where powerful stars lived complex double lives, balancing fame with personal truths they couldn't reveal openly. His experiences give us insight into a world where appearances mattered more than reality, and where friendships and alliances were formed in the shadows. But Bowers' connections went beyond mere convenience. They highlight the intricate social dynamics and unspoken rules that govern Hollywood's elite. His role in facilitating encounters wasn't just about pleasure. It was about creating a space for authenticity in an environment that often denied it. This chapter in Hollywood's history forces us to reconsider the narratives we've accepted for decades. It challenges the idea that celebrity life was purely glamorous, revealing instead a complex web of relationships hidden from the public. As we explore more about Cary Grant, Randolph Scott, and their connection through Bowers, we see how these stories blur the line between personal and public life. We will delve deeper into the alleged encounter involving all three men, an experience that, if true, turns traditional Hollywood tales upside down. One of the most striking revelations from Scotty Bowers' stories involves an intimate experience shared with Cary Grant and Randolph Scott. This event, if accurate, offers a rare glimpse behind the polished facades of two Hollywood legends, challenging everything fans thought they knew. Bowers described this encounter as more than just a casual meeting. It was an experience that spoke volumes about the hidden complexities of these stars' personal lives. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott were known publicly for their charm and traditional leading man roles, but privately, their relationships defied the era's rigid social expectations. The encounter reportedly took place during a time when Hollywood studios tightly controlled the images of their stars. Any hint of deviation from the accepted norms could ruin a career. In this light, the secrecy surrounding their private lives was not just about personal preference. It was a necessity. Bowers' account paints a picture of a discreet, consensual connection among the three men. It reveals how these stars navigated their desires in a world that left little room for authenticity. This event, kept hidden for decades, highlights the silent battles actors faced behind closed doors. Publicly, Grant and Scott maintained the appearances expected of them, but privately, their relationship was more complex. Bowers' involvement shows how essential trusted intermediaries were for stars seeking privacy and understanding. The story also challenges the way Hollywood's golden age has been remembered, less as a perfect era of glamour and more as a complicated time filled with hidden truths and unspoken realities. This alleged encounter forces us to question the line between public image and private identity. Moreover, the implications go beyond the individuals involved. It sheds light on the broader culture of secrecy and the sacrifices stars made to protect their careers and reputations. Their story is a reminder that behind every glamorous smile, there could be hidden struggles and concealed lives. But the story doesn't end here. There are more layers to uncover about the relationships, challenges, and risks these actors faced. What motivated them? How did they cope with the pressures? And how did the people around them react? The revelations about Scotty Bowers' connection with Cary Grant and Randolph Scott have reshaped how we view Hollywood's golden era. These stories invite us to reconsider the glamorous myths we've long accepted and see the real human experiences beneath the surface. For decades, Hollywood presented a polished, idealized image of its stars, heroes and heroines who fit perfectly into neat categories. But behind the scenes, many actors faced intense pressures to hide their true selves, navigating a world where personal authenticity could mean professional ruin. Bowers' accounts offer a candid glimpse into this hidden world, showing how secrecy and discretion were survival tools. His stories also highlight the courage it took for those involved to live authentic lives in a time when society demanded conformity. The impact of these revelations goes beyond just curiosity or gossip. They challenge us to think about identity, acceptance, and the cost of fame. They remind us that many people, regardless of era, have had to live in the shadows to protect themselves. In today's world, where conversations around openness and inclusivity have gained momentum, understanding Hollywood's hidden past becomes even more important. These stories serve as a bridge, helping us appreciate the struggles faced by previous generations and inspiring more honest dialogue about identity in the entertainment industry and beyond. Bowers' legacy is complicated but significant. By sharing what he did, he peeled back the curtain on a secretive culture, encouraging us to look beyond surface appearances. His stories help humanize stars like Cary Grant and Randolph Scott, revealing them as individuals with complexities and contradictions. Of course, not everyone has accepted these revelations easily. Some question the accuracy or motives behind Bowers' stories. Yet even skeptics acknowledge the broader truth. Hollywood's past is filled with hidden narratives that deserve recognition. As we close this journey, it's clear that these secrets aren't just about scandal or shock. They're about understanding history, identity, and the enduring quest for authenticity. The story of Grant, Scott, and Bowers reminds us that beneath every public image lies a private life, often more complicated and compelling than we imagine. Thanks for watching and diving into this hidden chapter of Hollywood history with us. If you enjoyed uncovering these secrets, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more stories that go beyond the silver screen. See you next time.